Easy Patreon. So as requested, this video is just all about drum structure and drum arrangement. We're going to kind of go over how I started with this. And then created this. The video has been split up into two parts. So in the first part, it's just looking at how I kind of started off with a melody, a kick and a snare, and I kind of built it up to create a drum loop that I felt happy with, that I can continue creating a track. Briefly looking at some production techniques I use to kind of just add some interesting sounds and ear candy to it. And yeah, just kind of just looking at how I structured the drums and arrangement to make the loop that I was like, yeah, this slaps. In the second part, we're gonna kind of just look at how I took that loop and I extended it to create a track, and how I built a track around that initial drum loop. Again, just kind of just looking at some production techniques and some tricks that I might have used just to keep the track interesting, and just and some simple processing which I used on the track. Additionally, with this track, I've made the stems available for you guys, so you guys can download all the stems which I used and yeah, just use it for your own stuff. Plus, for you Ableton users, I also created an instrument rack where you guys can kind of just like also recreate one of the effects I used without having to dial in all the settings. I've made it a lot easier for you guys so that you can just throw it in and start creating some interesting drum effects. So yeah, let's go. This melody is from the Patreon sample pack. I last did the E-digging one. So yeah, this is something you can use in your own productions as well. Just get all of those in. Right, let's get a little drum pattern going. Not bad start. Right, so I'm gonna use the track today to kind of like throw these hi-hats back a little bit, and then this is just gonna add just a little bit of extra groove onto it. That's sounding pretty cool. Let's hear what my secret sauce is saying on top. I'm trying my hardest not to just keep throwing samples in there. Yeah, let's hear what Halftime's saying. Then add that delay back on. And then add a little pan to the delay. Let's get that in sync. Cool. That sounds pretty dope. So this is me kind of just going a little bit off track now. Maybe if we get Shaper Box on that. So yeah, this is like the Cable Guys Shaper Box 2. Yeah, and this is pretty dope. I'm still kind of like, yeah, getting my head around it, but so far I'm enjoying it still. Event. I just want this in a higher to mid band. Okay, so here's the track that I kind of made off the back of the drums that I created. I'm going to give you guys a little preview just so that you can hear all the elements together, and then we're going to just break it down, just look at what I kind of did with the drums just to, yeah, keep the track interesting. And yeah, we'll kind of just have a look at some of the other elements that I added to this track. Using this sidechaining plugin called Duck just to kind of just create like more like pumping sounds. I really like the sidechain effect in my music. It just adds another kind of groove to it, and it's one of those kind of things which I use it for a creative purpose, but it also has mixing benefits. So yeah, here's Duck is from Devious Machines, and yeah, as you can kind of see, that I just kind of just drew in an envelope, and if I bypass it so you guys can kind of hear it off. When you're making your tracks and you're slowly building on, don't just copy and paste and copy and paste. Take away some bits. I was very tempted to add some more percussion to this drum loop, but I stopped myself for the sake of it not being too crowded and not too much happening. And that's another decision to kind of just like bear in mind. Just like every now and then, you know, you're gonna want to throw something in. Rather than throw something in, take something away and just add that space or replace it. You know, you might be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna replace these hi-hats with some percussion found sounds that I recorded or whatever. So something to consider. So yeah, I hope that video kind of helped make some sense for you guys, might have like answered some questions that you guys might have had. And yeah, kind of like I said in it, it's just all about kind of just adding that variety to your drums. Once you get your drum loop and you're like, cool, this is sick, this is what I'm happy with, try not to get into the habit of just copying and pasting. Don't be afraid to take away some elements, whether you take away a kick, whether you take away a snare, hi-hat, percussion, whatever. All of those little moments of space is good. Like space and breath is good in a track. So as you can kind of see in what I created, I tried to make the most out of that and use that to add more variety and just highlight other elements within my track and keep it interesting throughout the whole thing. So I hope. So yeah, you know, like I mentioned before, there's going to be stems available for you guys. The stems of the track is all there. Take it, do as you please. Plus, for you Ableton users, there's an instrument rack which will allow you guys to do the drum fill glitch effect, which I created using Beat Repeat, and I made it so that it's easier for you guys just to dial in the settings and just get that kind of effect straight away without having to work out how to kind of get that type of sound. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, see you guys next month.